This is a court, by the way, that rarely Roger will play on, a court this fast. A great serve still. It's not just the first serve, it's also the second serve. I mean, he's unafraid to go for that. Easily in the 120s right now. Maybe 130. If he can. We get the replay here. Getting in the rhythm. Do they have Hawkeye tonight, Ted? They're paying all the money to the players.
I don't think we're going that good. A couple of volleys out. It's like Sampras came out blessed. Now the other point, John, that just jumped out watching the tape of their Wimbledon, their 0-1 distance.
Well, also remember the next year they changed the grass, slowed it down quite a bit. That's just a beautiful shot. And watch this ball skid, and Roger just waits on it. He's in great position so that he can go either.
So here comes a big game, and it's what Pete talked about this afternoon. He said it jokingly, but a little bit of the old bit of that magic,
yeah.
And Sampras gets a hold he very much needed. Who's that favor?
Roger's got the more comfortable slots. He does it more often. But he's not going to look to come in a whole lot on it. He prefers to sort of dance around the arm. Easy motion, doesn't put a lot of strain on his body. There's what Pete talked to me about a couple hours ago. It's a lot of iffy bounces. That one just dropped below Roger.
Over 19,000 here for Federer and Sampras. This event sold out in just 3 weeks, and it's a wonderful night from this standpoint. It took an immense amount of cooperation from everybody involved in tennis to make this happen. The ATP had, yes, this is saying that's the point.
The fact that they had to give him a waiver, that he had to ask permission to them to play this, is, to me, is worrisome. They could make an argument this wasn't good for the sport. That'd be hard.
Well, yeah, that would be hard.
Now, Pete, he's safe. He's a little, I mean, believe it or not, he said in the interview, he's a little uptight there. There we go. This would be a nice turn of events for Pete. Well, he guessed right there, the ball right back to him.
In the locker room before, John really hammered home the point of how, in many ways, they are similar men.
That's nice.
Yeah, Roger of net.
He tried 2 or 3 different things. I think in some ways that may have brought Pete out again, too, to try to enjoy it a little bit more, everything he accomplished. I mean, it is beautiful to watch a guy. First of all, his strokes are, he's already even with Pete. Let's see how hard he tries here to get the break and start serving and sort of continue to sort of control things. He's getting that ball nice and low, making Pete hit up. He's not enjoying this, Pete, a whole lot yet. It's so fluid. He just blocks it back. That's what he does erotic. You know, these huge serves. I mean, this is a big serve. This isn't second rate by any means. That's a miss hit that goes in. Pete's got a couple options here. He's got to take maybe a little bit off his first serve, get the percentage higher, because it's still coming through the court, and maybe.
Oh. And boy, that's really, when you see the stats, Roger really
acknowledge the crowd, I think, and start doing that if he gets some type of lead.
And Federer just.
I think it saved him against Nadal in the finals last year. Pete's just not moving well right now. That's the problem. He normally moves a lot.
Events.
There we go. A lot of people.
Crowd tonight. Sampras overhead again. Murray parts with Brad Gilbert. He's playing well.
Who needs a coach? Let's see. Back to the old days. Oh, he flattened that out. Caught a line. This is what I try to tell the linesman, Pete. When you get older, those are automatically called out. It should be. See, I have too much history. Pete should have more respect than that. They should be calling those shots out. They're paying me back for all that misery I caused them in the early days.
On tonight's Battle for Tennis History, visit the website you see there, stargamesinc.com.
We talked about that slice staying low. It was a perfect. That's what he thought it was, but you got to blame somebody.
I don't think I can remember seeing Federer showing us his ups like that.
He saved it a long time for his idol. This is the classic Sampras overhead here. Jumping off both feet.
Justin Gibble's. Time capsule shot.
Standing. I remember that one. Many a player were the recipient of that, where he dared you to go up the line. So he could just crush that ball cross court. He's so strong up top.
Yeah.
He still lifts a lot of weights. He's...
All right, correct me if I'm wrong here. I was watching that match again, and Federer takes advantage and holds a tough game.
No, this is sort of a very unique gathering of two champs.
What's it tonight? The Sampras Federer post-match show presented by Buick.
Good stretch there from Pete. These are shots he was been missing most of the match. That's hopeful.
You know, John, one thing that is a constant in any sport, whenever someone breaks, do you think those 13, 14, 15 are going to be a little tougher for Roger?
I would think so. You just said a couple minutes ago that we were saying he'd win a couple majors. So
you said that as a compliment.
It seems like he holds the ball a little bit longer, and he just uses the wrist to just flick it. Okay.
Something.
Wouldn't
that be great?
We'll try to figure that out. He in one of the private boxes or something. I don't think Pete even saw that ball. Seemed to just go about an inch over the net, which is a miserable shot to try to volley. But will someone tell Pete that we need what time are we on to, Ted? That caught the line. Oh, that's a nice serve, yeah. Unreturnable. You hit a serve like that out.
Pete's winning just barely over 50.
Tiger, how often he plays tennis.
There you go. That is the point you mentioned earlier, John. It's nice to see Pete let himself go a little bit.
Yeah,
enjoy it.
It took an hour and 10 minutes, but you know, he's hit 5 all here. The closer it gets to, say, a second set. Well, that was some shot. Roger's smiling, you know, having a great old time out there. This ball caught the line, but Pete's wondering how in the world he could have just done that.
Group of youngsters sit just on courtside. That so Roger was feeding those tennis balls.
Oh, he's gonna nail him. Don't get Roger too upset. It's a fine line here.
Champions are how many Grand Slam titles are in this building tonight?
It's pretty nice.
Isn't it
You see it, we all gather together. Way to go.
Pete's volleying seemed crisper in the second
He's
set.
playing better, there's no doubt. The crowd's energized here. You can feel they want to see a third set. He's, you know, inched his way at least to a tiebreaker here. There's that cat-like quickness. Be able to move back to the center of the court, stop on a dime to move back. Seeming to catch that ball late, still do enough with it to hit the winner. Well, that caught the line. That was a much-needed return there.
Federer with the ace.
So, taste of your own medicine.
Now we're going to go to a third set. Pete Sampras.
He's also got the advantage of serving first. So if he can get this hold here the first couple times, then Roger's going to get in his head a little.
In the second set.
He's in a bit of uncharted territory in the sense that he has played somewhat frequently the last year, but all of them as third set champions tiebreak. The matches he played with Roger were all straight sets.
So this is like a fifth set.
Had left before he starts, getting tight. That is such That is a great shot, man.
Yeah, see that's the acknowledgement. Okay, all right, I know you're good.
Look at this. The net ball is slicing away from Roger. He caught that on the inside of the ball to slice it away, which he did. This is, Roger wants this, break here to just keep things just totally under control.
Dahl had in the fifth set. Roger hit that shot.
That's it. As Bjorn would say, for really anyone to get into a lot of long rallies, he might get a little more confidence with his ground game. But it doesn't get any bigger than that, a forehand, and he unloads that. But he's not going to serve and stay back at Wimbledon, so you're not going to see something different.
I was just really surprised at him. I asked Pete, and he just does not believe that the grass is slower. It's the game, the style of the game has changed. Everybody just stays back.
He doesn't believe.
And it by Buick.
Roger's also in a. Me in the American Express commercial, that fictional referee. Maybe next time we'll have a real one.
That's not what Pete wants to do right now.
Roger's sort of making sure, he's working him, get him out there, sap his energy. Make sure that he doesn't let this problems down under is the fact he couldn't train as hard as he wanted because of his sickness. He kept getting sick. He looks good now.
Nice touch in net.
That would be hard to duplicate.
Given that the next best number after that is 4, 10 to 4.
But then again, I started this game in new balls. He's missed a couple pretty easy shots, and Pete's got a chance to break him.
Wow. Well, that was not what most expected, especially after Roger came out with this quick start. Now we're back.
Held down enough to stay close. But now, he's all of a sudden. It's not the plan a couple minutes ago.
Wow. Federer doing the running. Serving, and suddenly a little different spin on this.
Yeah. You notice how things have changed?
Wow. And don't you see it? John, volleys in the first set didn't look like Pete. Now it's starting to look more like the classic Sampras.
Serve it out in 2 games. And I felt like, on the one hand, Andre had obviously probably celebrated a bit his win, was being nice in a sense, but then I thought, he just won that. Maybe I could win one since I'm not winning a whole lot, right? And I know that he wasn't too happy at the end. He lost his edge is what happened, which is what's happened right here.
Oh, Federer's forehand long. And listen to this. That's okay.
Mentally, it seems like I'd be surprised if it was physical. And then all of a sudden, he's just hammering.
Pete Sampras. Well, you commented that multiple times in the Andy Roddick Federer matches we've called. Federer blocks that return back.
Pete's one of the great volleyers. Andy's always preferred the baseline, not as comfortable in that, and so that creates problems for him.
And Federer showed a little emotion as he stays in it. 12 years, the Garden hosted the ATP season-ending Masters.
You talk about cutting it close. Now he's giving Sampras what he's done so often. Make opponents miserable. 4 in a row. We're getting the whole package. Come from?
Sampras asked the same thing.
He's got to watch this, the replay to believe that angle. That ball really stayed low.
And Federer.
Feathery touch. He gets the lead. Tougher to change directions again as you get older. I think you may have seen Pete sort of lean and move to. That's where Roger shows why he's been able to win so many tournaments on a faster court. His ability to see the ball early enough to block it. Pete gave him the extra look there. Boost.
Federer prevails. This sold out 19,000 house at the Garden. Most of them stand in appreciation of what these two great champions just gave them.
All the way around.